Blind love. In 2010, Michael Jones, a Southern-born American man, worked as a construction worker in New York. He was skilled in his profession and lived a stable life. He was married to Sarah, a responsible and devoted woman who took care of their 4 children. Due to the nature of his job, he often had to travel to different states for work, but he always felt secure knowing that Sarah was managing their home and kids well. Over time, with increasing responsibilities, Sarah unintentionally neglected some of Michael's emotional and physical needs. This affected him psychologically, and at times he confided in his friends about his frustrations, even though he knew it was inappropriate to discuss his private marital issues. One day, his friend David suggested they visit a nightclub in Las Vegas. This turned out to be the biggest mistake Michael ever made. There he met a woman named Rebecca Miller, who told him a familiar story, claiming that life had forced her into this line of work and that she longed to escape it for a fresh start. Michael believed her words, and before he knew it, he was deeply infatuated with her. His emotions quickly escalated into an obsession, and within a short time, he proposed marriage, under the condition that she would leave her past behind. And surprisingly, Rebecca agreed immediately, realizing how emotionally invested he was and knowing that he had a stable job and a good income. At the beginning of 2011, Michael and Rebecca secretly got married, and he rented an apartment for her in Chicago, far from his original home. He never told his wife and children about his second marriage, using work and frequent travel as an excuse for his absence. The first few months of marriage were blissful, and Michael truly believed that Rebecca had changed. He spent all his earnings on her, furnishing their apartment and providing her with everything she wanted. However, after a couple of months, he started noticing people from her past reappearing in her life. When he questioned her, she reassured him that they were just old friends visiting. In reality, Rebecca missed her old lifestyle, and her former acquaintances were persuading her to return to her past work, reminding her of the substantial daily income she used to make. She started hinting to Michael that his income was not enough to support her desired lifestyle. Michael tried to convince her to cut ties with them, but she kept postponing it. Over time, Rebecca realized just how much Michael adored her, and she began testing his limits by subtly suggesting that she could return to her previous work under certain conditions. When he adamantly refused, she devised a new plan, suggesting that they move to Mexico to start over. She told him she could work as a chef there while he continued in construction, allowing them to build a better future together. Without thinking it through, Michael agreed. He told his first wife and children that he had found a great job opportunity in Mexico and would return later to bring them over. To fund their move, he sold all the furniture he had bought for Rebecca and used the money for their travel expenses. For a year and a half, they lived in Mexico, but Michael began suspecting that Rebecca had not truly changed and that she might be involved in suspicious activities again. As time passed, his growing doubts and unease affected his work, and he found himself unable to concentrate. First, every penny he earned went straight to Rebecca. He never sent any money to his family in the US, and eventually he decided to return to New York. Rebecca strongly objected, but for the first time, Michael stood his ground and insisted on going back. In early 2013, they returned to New York. Shortly after, Rebecca asked Michael to visit her family in Los Angeles, claiming they should formally meet him. Michael agreed without hesitation. However, upon arriving, he was shocked to find that they had prepared legal contracts, demanding he sign debt agreements worth $50,000 as a guarantee for their daughter's security. Out of his unwavering devotion to Rebecca, he signed all the documents without question. Not long after, Michael began noticing that Rebecca was reconnecting with her old acquaintances. When he confronted her, she threatened him, saying that if he didn't stop questioning her, she would use the debt contracts against him and take legal action. One evening, Michael came home earlier than expected and found Rebecca sitting with a friend and an unfamiliar young man. She looked surprised to see him, and when he questioned her, she claimed the man was a relative visiting. However, after they left, a massive argument erupted between Michael and Rebecca. It became clear to him that she would never change, just as it became clear to her that he would never allow her to return to her past life. Next morning, Michael woke up to find that Rebecca had packed her belongings and left. He searched for her everywhere, but no one had seen or heard from her. Desperate, he reported her missing to the police. Days passed, and it seemed like she had disappeared entirely. A month and a half later, police received a report about a human body found dismembered in the Hudson River. Identifying the body was challenging, but investigators found a mobile SIM card inside a pocket of the victim's clothing. They examined it. They discovered that it was registered under Michael's name. After further investigation, authorities uncovered the history of Michael's missing person report and his turbulent relationship with Rebecca. Michael was arrested, and the moment he saw the police, he confessed immediately. He admitted that he had lost his patience, unable to endure the constant deception and humiliation any longer. In a fit of rage, he stabbed her multiple times before using a saw to dismember the body, then attempted to destroy the remains before disposing of them in the river. He showed no remorse, stating that if she had survived, he would have done it again. Michael was subsequently tried and sentenced to capital punishment. His blind love had not only cost him his freedom, but had also destroyed his life and the lives of his family. Lesson learned: true love does not blind you to wrongdoing. If it does, the problem is not with love, it is with you.